Hello and welcome to Rolling Revival. Here tonight at Jess Force House. We've come to check out what's going on with England Clothing, 50/50, and GOST with Arlo, who's just through there. But for starters, we're going to have a word with Jess and find out what's happening with 50/50 in England. Welcome to Rolling Revival, Jess. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks. So, where are we right now?
Well, this is actually my garage. So it's a bit of a makeshift kind of warehouse, and we've got some of the 50/50 stuff right here, and we got the England stuff on that side, and then we got the GOST stuff right here. So it's kind of divided, but not really. It's a bit of a organised chaos back here.
So for people who don't know about England and 50/50, I mean, people who've been they haven't lived for starters, but for people who've been skating a long while, you'll understand. But for all the people who might not have seen your face before, give us a little bit of a background of how 50/50 came about and what you've done within rollerblading up until this.
Okay.
This day and age.
I'll try and keep it brief.
Yeah.
Well, it was probably in the early 90s, around 92, we were looking at making grind plates and making accessories for our skating, because everything was recreational back then. There was no grind plates, there was no little wheels, nothing. So we wanted to make something that kind of differentiated us from other types of skating. So we came up with a grind plate, and the first grind plate we made was actually metal and plastic, hence 50/50, and that's kind of where the name came from. So we came out with that grind plate, put that out, and that went up really, really well, and that got a good response. And then we kind of evolved from that and started making frames, which was a real challenge, because back then all the skates had fixed frames on them. So we had to make a universal frame, but we also had to make base plates for each skate company out there so that our frame fit on their skates. So that was a huge challenge, and so we were making everything back then out of UHMW. Machining the product, so it was a lot of work, but it was cool. It was a good time. There was a lot of energy, and people were really stoked on having a frame that was specifically designed for skating rails and what we do now. So it was the first frame out there really to do that.
So history right there for you. So 1992. Anybody who's started rollerblading in the last few years, you're seeing a bit of history here. So I noticed behind you now, we've got something that's fresh out for 2009.
Yeah.
Do you want to show people what's up? I mean, how times have changed?
It's a bit of a blast from the past, actually, because it's the balance frame. We've been really pushing the core system frame with the metal cores. But we had a lot of people, excited, and they really like the way these frames are and how solid they are. So we decided to kind of bring it back, bring the juice blocks back again too. And it's been doing really well, and we just kind of change up the colours, do something a little brighter, a little different than what we've done in recent months. So this is hot off the press right here.
Yeah, they're looking sick. As well as those, there's the JC Row frame coming out.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about them.
Well, JC, unfortunately, day before yesterday, broke his ankle, which is a bummer. Real bummer, but he has been heavily promoting his frame with his ads, and he's actually been very involved in making that frame and making it cool and really promoting it. And it's going to be a turquoise frame, same turquoise as the juice blocks, but it's going to be a core system frame, so with the metal core and the plastic shell, and that should be out in June. Fingers crossed.
Keep your eyes open for that. When did England start? I mean, I want to start from the basics for everybody who doesn't know.
Gosh, England was a real incredible kind of marriage of people. I was living with Brooke Howell-Smith at the time, who was doing Senate at the time, and Senate was massive. It was rollerblading at that time, but we were a little bit older, and we didn't really want to wear cartoon graphics at that time, even though things have come full circle. But we wanted something a little bit more mature, so we started making shirts and doing embroidery and just doing like kind of nicer, more high-end stuff that you can wear skating, but also non-skating. And at that time, we really we wanted one person that kind of represented that style, and John Julio was the obvious choice. So we started this company, and we were all owners of the company. So it was different in every sense. We all were involved on every level, the main focus was to make something that we were proud to wear as skaters. Something that was different, and gave us a little bit more of a mature look and style to what we wanted to promote.
So with England Clothing, what sort of things are we looking at for the next few months? I know you've been making pants as well as t-shirts and hoodies. Like what can we expect to see?
Well, we're really trying to bring it back to what we do best, and I think that's cut and sew. So we've been doing, we just actually reintroduced the cargo pant, and we're doing a lot of denim, corduroy pants, a lot of cut and sew tops. So that's really my focus, is kind of more the fashion style of it rather than the graphics and the logos per se. So that's my kind of drive really, is to make cool fitting clothes, that rollerblades can wear and be proud of on and off skates.
That's good to hear. Well, do you want to show people anything around? I mean, like we say, since Ghosts moved in here, things have got a little bit tight, but these are some of the 50/50 frames here. So I guess before we go and meet Arlo, I mean, you can see me wearing Ghost right now, and we'll ask Arlo fully about what's happened with Ghost, but how did you and Arlo come together with Ghost after he left Franco?
Well, I didn't know too much about what was going on. I knew there was kind of an amicable parting between the two of them, but Arlo lives about 20 feet from me, like right there. So we talk a lot about things that we want to do inside and outside of skating, and one thing that we're both passionate about is clothing, and so he approached me with my background with England and wanted to take Ghost to a different level, make it a little bit more high end, using nicer, lighter weight t-shirts, and also getting into the cut and sew too. So that's kind of my background, and we've been good friends for a long time. I think we have a pretty similar vision about what we want to see happen with rollerblading. So it kind of happened. I don't think it was too contrived. I think it just we were just talking, and it just kind of evolved into into Ghost brand. Yeah.
A lot of people might have seen Jess's photography. Been doing it for a long time. Well, we've got the man on the spot right now. How's the photography going? Have you been shooting much?
It's going good. I haven't been shooting as much as I was obviously back in the Daily Bread days where I was 24/7. But I've been more selective about my time with photography, and so. But I do make time every month to go out and shoot and be a part of it. I mean, I love it. It's like when I'm out there, I feel in my element. I'm very closely connected with the skating, and I love seeing rollerblading. I think it's a beautiful sport. So for me to be able to have the opportunity to go out there and capture it, and maybe have a shot published, is a wonderful thing. It's another creative outlet for me that I really enjoy.
Welcome to Revival once again, Arlo. How you doing?
I think I'm gonna need this.
Now we're the same height. So you're repping Ghost right now, your new company.
Yeah.
For everybody out there who hasn't seen anything yet, tell us a little bit about it before we go around the warehouse. Bit of basics.
Well, it's kind of something old and something new. It's a brand new company, but we're using a logo which I think people are familiar with. I was with Franco Shade for the last year and a half, really, up until January this new year, and then Joe, Franco Shade, and I split ways, and so now it's become two separate companies. I made a new icon for them before I left, the hammer, which you've probably seen by now, and I left and started Ghost with the Ghost and Knives.
Hell yeah! So yeah, people may be familiar with this logo. Do you want to show people a little bit of, is this the spring line, the first line?
This is the line this is our very first line. It's a spring 09. It's in the stores right now. We shipped it all out. We're, as you can see, very low on inventory now. We're working on getting our summer in, but I can show you what's in the warehouse right now.
Yeah.
Sort of, it's not the best way to show stuff because it's all like bagged up. But red t-shirt, which we actually never get red at Franco, so this is kind of like special for Richard because I know he likes to wear red. We've got the shirt here that you're wearing, Tim, which you can model for us. You see, I Light LA, and then you've got the fire starter on back with our little Frankie Ghost setting the fire. Bit of a controversial shirt in some circles, I suppose, but it's all in good fun. We've got Frankie here. He's out of here.
And am I right in saying that every t-shirt in here is designed by yourself in this line?
That's right.
Full Arlo.
We've got some hoodies. Yeah, it's all me. And this is a cool shirt that we've done. I don't know if you can see it in here, but this is the collaboration shirt we're doing with Ubik in Philadelphia. Great shop. I mean, it's sort of like a take on the Philadelphia Phillies logo, which I'm sure won't mean anything to you.
I've been to Philadelphia.
Do you know what? Yeah, I mean, you've heard of American baseball. It's kind of like cricket, but we hold the bats up here.
The boring game?
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a huge advocate of baseball, but it's a cool graphic anyway. But so anyway, you get the idea. We've just got product out here, and if you'd like, we can go in and I'll show you.
Yeah, let's go check out some more things.
Yeah.
So how hard has it been trying to get a new brand started with the name Ghost, using something that people previously associated with Franco Shade? Has that been a problem?
No, it hasn't been a problem, not really yet. And the interesting thing about it is, I only really started pushing the Ghost as Franco's primary icon and mark, when I was there full time. So for like the last year. Prior to that, we'd used elephants and sort of had kind of like a rotating catalog of logos. We had the elephant boombox and just different things. And then when I came there, and after my experience at Paul Frank, I'm like, I really wanted to have a strong logo, and I felt like the Ghost and Knives was it. And so I feel like it's not like it was so entrenched with Franco Shade that I feel like the logo is sort of just starting to gain traction, just starting to become meaningful to consumers. And so I don't think that it was too late to change the name. And I think the most important thing is the logo.
Yeah.
And that's why I sort of went with the most simple and obvious name. It's like, it's not hard to make a new connection. It's like, oh, Ghost, the Ghost. I feel like it's very easy for people to reacclimate themselves to that. And the truth is, we're still talking about relatively small companies. I mean, between Franco and and Ghost and all these companies, I feel like there's still a huge opportunity to really make a big impression. And in the mainstream market, the Ghost and Knives and Franco Shade and Ghost, none of those things mean anything to anyone yet. We still have that ahead of us. So that's the opportunity I'm after right now.
It's good to hear. So, I mean, we've checked out some of the t-shirts you've got out the back from the first line. I mean, I'm rocking one, you're rocking one.
Hello.
You've come from a very artistic background with your illustration, but being a clothing brand, what sort of direction do you want to take it in the sense of cut and sew, or is it going to be something which is very heavily based with illustration, or are you trying to mix it up with the more cut and sew and denim, or is it t-shirts and hoodies? What sort of way are you going to be taking it?
Well, Jess, who I partnered with, his background is denim. He did a lot of cut and sew stuff with England, denim in particular, but I mean, he did a lot of pants stuff and he does tops. And so we are definitely going to be incorporating a comprehensive cut and sew program into the stuff that we do. It just so happens that because of the timing, when Franco and I split, there was not a whole lot of time to get the spring line out, and I didn't want to skip a season, so we rushed to get the first line out. But the longest lead times are in the cut and sew, so I was able to get out the graphics. We got our shirts, and we put out a line essentially of t-shirts and hoodies. But we are in development to have cut and sew and more accessories for our subsequent lines, in particular fall. Okay, so that's one half of it. Do you mind if I say the other half?
Yeah, go for it.
You're right, my background is art. And I said this at Franco Shade, and I'm saying it now. My goal and my vision for this company is to be an image-driven company. I am in the logo business. I'm selling a Ghost and Knives. And so cut and sew is something that I think is an important part of being in the apparel industry. But really what I'm interested in is pushing the mark.
Why did you leave out the H in Ghost?
I'm sorry, leave out the what? What did you say?
Say it again, Tim. Say it again.
Why did you leave the H out of Ghost? Host.
What is he saying? Oh, I see. The H, why did we leave the H out of Ghost? Oh, I have a prepared answer for this, because I've answered it several times.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The reason that I left the H out of Ghost is because we have a Ghost and Knives logo, and I felt like putting the word Ghost, G-H-O-S-T, as it's spelled, underneath the Ghost and Knives logo would all be sort of a bit too obvious, and it almost even then I think makes it look sort of like a Halloween decoration. It's like it's the word ghost and it's a ghost in knives. But by leaving out the H, it makes it a bit more stylized and something a little more designed as opposed to literal. And also, I feel like by making it GOST, it's like ghost means a lot of things to a lot of people when you say GHOST, and the side of it is familiar. But with GOST, if we can make that something that is recognizable, then it'll be something that we own 100%. When people see GOST, they'll think of us.
Moving on, as well as designing for companies like Senna and Ghost and Franco and plenty of other companies, you've also just recently done a shirt for the AIL, which is the Amateur Inline League. Would you like to tell people out there a little bit about this shirt and how it came about?
Well, you pretty much said it. Pam and Richie at Woodward West put on this competition series every year. They've done it for several years now, and it all culminates in like a giant championship out at Woodward West. And it did start out as the Amateur Inline League, which is where it got its name, AIL, but it has grown to include a pro competition. I think they were trying to even grow that to become a pro circuit. But so yeah, AIL is this great thing in rollerblading, and Pam and Rich are good friends, and Woodward West has always been very nice to rollerblading and to us personally. And so they called and they said, hey Arlo, we would really like for you to come up with a graphic, for us to use this year throughout the season. They can sell it, a way to raise money for the event. And I said, sure. And I will show you what we did. I asked her, I said, can I do whatever I want? Does it have to say anything? Does it have to say championships or AIL? And she said, no, just do whatever you want, and that's it. And so this is the graphic I made. And you might say it's kind of nerdy, because it's got like all these like puns on it. The toilet paper says, wanna roll? Like, wanna roll, because you can, it's a toilet paper roll.
Like loo roll?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Loo rolls.
As well as the AIL t-shirt, what other things have you been designing and had released lately? In other words, these things we've got sitting right over here. Do you want to tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, dude, God, we are set today. We got like so much show and tell.
So much show and tell.
These are the skates I did with Valo, which are really awesome. John Julio came up with this idea. He wanted to do like an artist series. And so he's like, again, he gave me free range. He said, Arlo, do whatever you want. I decided I wanted to do each skate different. And by different, I mean like really different. But I put as many colors as I could onto it. And I tried to come up with custom art for each skate, but they're not the same, but they are symmetrical. I made the designs match and relate to each other, but each one is different. I think it came out really cool. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited about the results, and I'm really happy and grateful that John let me do it.
What are these we have here?
These, around the same time, I don't know why all of a sudden everybody's getting all into old people and skating, but at the same time, Isaac came up with the idea at Eulogy of doing a Legend series. You're too funny, man. I'm doing a Legend series of wheels. And so for the first series, they did me and Chris Edwards and B Love and Michael Palick. And I can tell you, hot scoop, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this, but do you know who the next series is?
Yeah, but people might...
Are we allowed to say?
Where are you allowed to say?
Rollinson, Brian Bell, Brian Smith, and Ryan Jacklin.
Ryan Jacklin.
Respect.
How do you feel about that?
I think I'll tell you specifically how I feel about the second team. I think it's a great team, but it's not right. Something doesn't sit right with me that Brooke hasn't had one yet. Because they did everybody from Hoax 2 in the first series, and now in the second series, they've got everybody except for Brooke. Because they did me and Mike and B-Love and now Brian Smith. You gotta recognize Brooke.
You gotta recognize Brooke. But yeah, have you been skating much?
No.
No.
Of course not.
But my daughter really, I have a 7-year-old daughter, and she really got the craving that she wanted to go skating. And so this last weekend, I put on my skates and she put on her skates, and we went and skated to Gypsy Den and got something to eat. And we came back and I went into the curb. There's a wax curb out by the Valo office, and I skated for a little bit. I mean, it was just like skating on a curb. It's exactly like how we used to skate probably 10 years ago, 11 years ago in Laguna Beach.
More than that.
Couldn't have been that much more,
93.
right?
93, we started Daily Bread.
I didn't say when we started Daily Bread, but whatever. Yeah, a long time ago is the point. It's like really old school skating, an old school guy doing old school skating. But I have not skated as much as I want to. But I will tell you, over the last couple of months, I haven't really missed it that much. I've been really busy. But over the last couple of weeks, I've been really, really craving it. And I don't know, it's something I've not even really experienced before. Because I've gone periods where I couldn't skate for a while. But I don't know what's happening.
Well, quickly mentioned, look.
Bam, remember that?
Do you remember that? Tell us a little bit about this.
Happy Black Jesus?
Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, let's have a little history lesson.
You know what? There is nobody that knows. People might know that I used to use that, I came up with the Happy Black Jesus of rollerblading, and God, this is probably nothing you'll be able to use, but I'll tell you anyway, just because it's totally random and pointless.
We'll keep it in.
Rick Van Dyke, right? Somehow, well, what was he? Is he Dutch? Is he from Holland?
So yeah, Van Dyke, yeah.
Before BMAG, before message boards, before instant messaging, and no, it couldn't have been before email. It couldn't have been before email. But I swear to God,
The internet.
before the internet, basically, the rollerblading, the whole rollerblading community, we all used to communicate through this email. How did it work? Like it was an email list, I guess, and so everybody would email back and forth. Actually this is kind of like surfaced recently. Dude, I'm getting so sidetracked. But anyway, the point was, so the whole rollerblading industry, we would all like communicate through these emails, and somehow Rick Van Dyke was like the master of ceremonies or something. I don't know how it all worked, but at some point I started signing them the Happy Black Jesus of rollerblading, and it was like I was going through this weird time, like where Senate was really being shit on by everybody and whatever. And to take it back one step further, where that name came from, and my memory's not so great, but it has something to do with Corey Nelson. I know you have no idea who it is, right?
I'll pretend I do.
That's a guarantee.
I'll smile and nod.
But speaking of great names, Corey Nelson's real name is Corey Gerhard Norman Nelson III, which is a great
Serious
name.
business.
Yeah, that is a real name. But maybe it was him and Champion were so excited that Jesus was black. I don't remember where it came from, but so anyway, here's this little icon I came up with for the Happy Black Jesus. And it's really great.
So you recently went to Barnburner and
No,
Bittercold.
he went.
Oh, you didn't go?
We both went to Bittercold.
You went to Bittercold. How did you find it?
Where.
How did you find it?
Just MapQuest.
Just good response to Ghost? I presume you went there to show some of your goods.
Well, let me tell you, we went to Bittercold together, and Jess and I went to Bittercold, and literally we had our product shipped from our printers directly to Barnburner because it was that close. So it was the very first place that we debuted our product, that we showed it to anyone. And yeah, the response was tremendous. I mean, people were very enthusiastic about the product, and not just with their words, but they put their money where their mouth was. I think it was a great show for us, and it was really nice to have sort of an instant response and get that instant gratification. As soon as we finish the line, we take it out, we get to share it with people and see the response. It was really great.
Hell yeah. Well, I think we've covered a great deal and found out a really good insight at not only Ghost, but a bit of Arlo's past and some of the things that are coming up. Is there anything else you'd like to mention? Jess?
I'm good.
You good?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, UK and USA, bringing unity to the community.
Sweet.